Why does the series preview for the Ultimatum saying that somebody is going to be sent home apparently already? This season is already Hot Mess Express personified. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking the Ultimatum Season 4, Episode 1. Full transparency. So, I watched Season 1 and Season 2 of the Ultimatum. I think I skipped Season 3. And I think I last did reviews on my main channel, Anonymous T, back in 2024, 2023, I believe. And it was a Hot Mess Express. And I believe on this channel, I did a review or reaction because there was a cheating scandal. There was a whole cheating scandal on the Ultimatum South Africa that was Hot Mess Express personified, right? So I'm back. This is like my first time after taking the season off on the Ultimatum to see ultimately what are we getting ourselves into. And already it seems like the format is a little bit different. It seems like they're all in Las Vegas, but not necessarily each couple is from the same location, which I find interesting. So in previous seasons, they would have the couples be from the same location. So, and I'm just giving out an example because I think the one couple that I remember from season 1 that has since gotten married is they were in Texas, right? They all were in Texas. I can't remember if it was like Dallas or somewhere or whatever the case may be, but I'm just giving that as an example. Basically, y'all all lived in the same state, right? Y'all all lived in the same state, so whether y'all worked out or not, or whatever the case may be, they centered the premise of the show around whatever state you guys lived in, kind of similar to how Married at First Sight works, right? Where they focus in on a location, they focus in on a state, and ultimately that's how they pair people, and typically that's how they do Love is Blind as well. So I immediately noticed that everybody was in Las Vegas to do this experiment, and I was trying to figure out the logistics because let's say that you do find a better match with somebody else that's not your current partner. How is that logistically going to work? You effectively would be long distance if all of y'all are not from the same location. So that stood out to me initially, right? That was like kind of like the first thing that I noticed. It looks like from the season preview, somebody's going to get kicked off of the show for the way that they were talking disrespectfully. And I'm hoping it's a man or maybe multiple men, because I'm already getting the vibes that it's giving low effort for a lot of these men. And I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I do not know what is going on, but this first episode already was a lot. It was a lot that was going on. I'm going to briefly go through the couples, but there wasn't much to go through. Oh, also different too is I feel like in previous seasons, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like, so they said that, you know what I'm saying, you have the orientation with Nick Lachey and his wife, and then you have your last night with your partner, you break up single, fine, and then the next day you get to date the other couples, right? And find out who you're in a match with. But then it's low-key kind of jealousy because you're checking out to see if your partner is getting along with someone else. But I could have sworn in the earlier seasons, it didn't have to take a whole week for you guys to decide on who you guys wanted to match with. I thought it was like a couple of days or so. I didn't think it was like an entire week to date somebody else. And I don't know if that is intentional, that they're intentionally doing that and hoping that people genuinely choose a stronger connection. But I feel like in earlier seasons, you really didn't need, you know what I'm saying, a full week to know what you wanted, right? Like it may have taken a day or two. So that was something interesting as well. So a few of the couples, and I gotta say this, if you are together more than 2 years, and there's not an engagement ring. You know what I'm saying? There's not a proposal, but by the calendar year end of year 2, you know what I'm saying, where you're about to head into year 3, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. So I just want to kind of get into the couples. So we have Alex and Jabin, who have been together for 6 years. And Alex, the female in the relationship, is the one that is given the ultimatum. However, it sounds like Jabin his family doesn't like her because he specifically wants him to be with a traditional Indian woman. And I am confusion as far as him agreeing to participate in this show. Due to the other couples, it appears as though, are, either half Hispanic or white, blonde women and all this and all that. None of these other women are Indian either. So none of these women are going to be acceptable for you to bring back to your family. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? You would have had to go to a specific reality show, because they have that on Netflix too, that is specific about Indian matchmaking, if that is completely what it's about. But I think he's using his family as an excuse to keep it a buck. I just don't think he wants to marry her, is the vibe that I'm getting. Also, something else that they incorporated as well was apparently Nick Lachey told them they all had engagement rings right on the spot. And it's given y'all trying to be like The Bachelor. You know what I'm saying? How The Bachelor includes like the engagement rings or whatever else for the suitor to pick out for whoever they want to propose to. And I'm guessing he's thinking that this is supposed to give an extra incentive for these couples to propose at the end. But I'm already seeing the toxicity and the hot mess express of it all. So I don't think this is a good idea for any type of incentive. I think it's still going to be a disaster. Next, we got to get into Jessica and Edris, right? And they've been together for 2 years. And Jessica is the one who has given the ultimatum. She is 35 years old, and she basically wants to start a family. However, she does not want to start a family, you know what I'm saying, having kids out of wedlock. So she wants to be married and all this and all of that. I'm not going to hold y'all. I don't know what's up with Edris. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's just like zoned out or tuned out or whatever the case may be, or super duper chill or whatever it is. But to me, he just gives like he has no game. Like, how did these two even get together? He has no game. He has no conversation. It was cringe. And I was like, what do you see in him? Are you just like physically attracted to him? Like, what is it? I don't know. Or maybe she likes the fact that he's calm. He seems like he's like super calm and super chill, like, and all the things. But their issue is that, she feels as though he's dragging his feet on proposing, and she's the one that brought him here for the ultimatum. He is claiming and alleging that Jessica is too friendly and too flirty with other men, especially men that she works out with and that she trains with and she's all over with. And it sounds like there may have been like cheating allegations or suggestions or implications about cheating due to how friendly she was. And basically that was a turnoff for him. But my thing is, if it is such a turnoff for you, why are you still with her? You know what I mean? Like it's pretty like cut and dry. If you feel she's too flirty with other men, why can't you get the stepping? Shout out to Martin. Like why are we still entertaining her? I feel like there's something else there, because it hasn't bothered you enough for you to leave the relationship, right? Next, we got to get into Monica and Luke, who have also been together for 5 years and everything else. Now, they apparently have known each other since they were 14 years of age, you guys. And ultimately, we will see what happens with these two, right? Because I don't know. I feel like these are one of the couples that has the potential to make some stuff shake in a new couple. I've got my eye out on the both of them, because I feel like they both, you know what I'm saying, they have what it takes to really make some stuff shake in some other couples. But I honestly feel 5 years is way too long to be with somebody and there is no engagement, no commitment, none of the things, right? And so ultimately, it is Luke that is giving the ultimatum. He obviously is ready, and it appears as though maybe Monica is not, and maybe Monica is potentially seeing if there is something better out there, is what it sounds like to me. Next we got Casey and David, and I believe David is also half Mexican on the show. And what has happened as well is they also have been together for 5 years. So this is another couple I'm going to be paying attention to. And Casey is the one that has given the ultimatum because she feels as though ultimately David is dragging his feet. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, I can't remember if this is the one. This might be the one. Is he the one that has given her 3 promise rings? No. What? I believe this is the one that has given her allegedly 2 or 3 promise rings. So he apparently plays basketball overseas or whatever the case may be. And they connected because he slid into her DMs and all of this and all of that. And they also own a business together. They own a drug testing clinic. So the other side of this as well is that if this doesn't work out, they are also business partners. They also own a business together. So the relationship potentially wouldn't just end, but it would be interesting to see their dynamic of owning a business together. Would they still be co-owners, or would one party sell their share of the company to the other? That would be very interesting to see whether or not they work out. Because I don't know yet. I haven't read any spoilers. I'm just going to go episode by episode off of what I see and everything else, right? But yeah, I feel like these 5-year couples, I feel like they have the potential to do some damage on their new couples, right? So then we have Ashley and Killian, right? Ashley and Killian, they have been together for 4 years. Ashley is the one who is giving, you know what I'm saying, the ultimatum. So apparently they met each other like 14 years ago. And it sounds like they met via competitive cheerleading, or they did competitive cheerleading together. She was given some story that they would have different challenges where they get to kiss each other. It seems like to me, the way she talks about Killian, that from jump, she's been more into him than he is into her. It is what it's giving to me. It sounds like, that is the case. But apparently the problem that is with their relationship is that there was a big falling out or some type of altercation that took place between him and Ashley's family. And he had previously asked for her father's hand to propose to her. But apparently since then, there was some big type of altercation that has happened. And he's put the brakes on everything. And it sounds like to me that ultimately he feels as though he's not accepted by Ashley's family and doesn't feel wanted by Ashley's family. So that's why he's taken a step back. But if that is the case, if you feel that her family, doesn't like you, doesn't see it for you, doesn't feel that you're good enough for her and all of this and all of that, if you can't figure out a way, you know what I'm saying? Why are we dragging this out? Like, I feel like these rationales are pretty cut and dry for me. You know what I'm saying? If you know somebody your family don't like who you're with, and you've been with them for 5 or 6 years, like, why you're dragging your feet, unless there's something else. And then if it's gotten to the point that it's gotten to an altercation, y'all know, what was it? Pedro and Chantel, 90 Day Fiance, when their families got into it. It never ends well. If it escalates to the point of an altercation, you can't come back from that. You know what I'm saying? You can try to work it out and try to stick it out, but that's always going to be in the back of the mind that tried to fight me. You know what I'm saying? That it escalated to that point. So for those reasons, they're never going to figure him to be a good fit for the family. And then we get to what appears to be the most toxic couple, even though they have been together the least amount of time, is Haley and Blake. And I am concerned, is Blake going to last during the show? Is Blake going to last during this show? So initially when, you know what I'm saying, they are, talking, and she had a cringe conversation. Who did she have a cringe conversation with too? It was with Edris, because apparently she is half Hispanic or whatever else, and Edris was making some weird commentary about being Hispanic, or it was a hot mess express. She said she needed another margarita after that conversation, so obviously it doesn't feel like she's interested in him. So it sounds like to Haley, and I still am not ultimately sure as far as what their issues were, because they kind of glossed over it to me. I didn't feel like it really wasn't, I really couldn't get a read on what it was, right? All I could get a read on was Blake knows to lock it down with Haley, but Blake doesn't know how to properly be a significant other to Haley. He doesn't appreciate what he has, but he knows in the back of his mind he needs to lock it down so nobody else can have her, is what it sounds like to me. Sounds like he's doing the bare minimum, but he wants to quickly propose and have her married off because he knows that she's a catch, right? So what has happened, and I didn't notice anything until I started to observe when Haley started to talk to other men, right? And then things popped off at the end of the episode because you had where everybody was in their swimsuits during the day, getting to mingle with the other couples, right? Getting to, as singles, right? And talk with the opposite sex. However, there was a little mingle at nighttime, right? A little, cocktail hour, if you will, where once again you get to see your ex, but the idea is you're basically still having those conversations, getting to know the other singles, because you have to get to know these other singles for the entire week. And so what Haley was upset about was that apparently all of the other couples, when they came in, even though they were exes, they all came and hugged each other. They all came and hugged each other and gave that respect, you know what I'm saying? And understood like what the show is. However, Blake was the only one that did not hug Haley. And so Haley is basically talking about the bare minimum that she expects from Blake. You know what I'm saying? Like just basic chivalrous stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like open up doors, like being sweet, giving her a hug, just doing stuff without her having to ask. And he was like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know you want me to do all that. No. What are you talking about? What are you saying, right? What are you saying? So she's pissed off because she feels disrespected. She feels like she was written off. She was discarded. And Blake treated her as if she was not in the room. I honestly do not even want anybody paired with Blake because he just seems like he's exhausting. He seems like he's exhausting. A lot of these men in this group, to keep it a buck with you, really seem exhausting. These do not seem like these are men that really any of y'all should be marrying if we're keeping it a buck. There's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? They're trying, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to tell you that the reason why y'all are not married, the reason why y'all are not engaged is because of the toxicity of y'all situations. But it hasn't clocked for y'all that y'all need to get out and be with someone else. So maybe that's why y'all are on this show. But that is my review for episode 1. Keep in mind, I have not fast forward ahead to see what is going to happen with these other couples. Again, I don't know any spoilers. I don't know who's together, who isn't. I don't know who gets removed off the show that they showed in the season preview at the beginning of the episode. I'm just going to react episode by episode and go from there. But nonetheless, that is it for this video. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. There's that. That is it. That is all. Es todos, es final. Es finito. Es the end of the road. Any of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post a content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.